Heritage Christian Services. We are excited to have you join us today. My name is Kelly, and I will be guiding you through your online course. I started working for Heritage Christian in 2008 as a direct support staff. And in 2011, I began to serve as a Medicaid service coordinator, which is now known as a care coordinator. For the past 8 years, I have worked in my current role as a talent acquisition specialist. As a talent acquisition specialist, I get the opportunity to meet lots of people every day and tell them about the life-changing work we do at Heritage Christian. Today, we are going to be introduced to the culture at Heritage Christian, our mission, and our values. Before we get started, I wanted to direct your attention to the attached supplementary documents that can be referenced throughout the course. Attached, you will find a copy of the mission statement, the Heritage Christian Difference self-assessment tool, and an organizational chart. Those of you who will be working in direct support have the responsibility to help people connect through meaningful relationships and experiences in order to discover and navigate what matters most to them. You will find you will have a variety of roles here, no matter what your title is, and no one day will be the same. You will encounter a variety of successes and challenges. We're going to talk a lot about the Heritage Christian difference. Our employees are what set our services apart. You will have the opportunity to learn and grow here, and your supervisor wants you to succeed. We're going to talk about right representation. You will learn about how we expect you to make good decisions about the way you represent yourself, your team, the organization, and most importantly, the people who you support. Before we move on, I would like to pause and allow you a moment to reflect on what initially brought you to Heritage Christian Services. Take a minute, take out your phone, write it down on your computer or laptop, or do it the good old-fashioned way, grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down a sentence or two about why you came to Heritage Christian Services. What made you want to work here? This will be an awesome tool for you to reflect on later on in your career and your journey at Heritage Christian Services and keep you grounded in what motivated you to originally serve here. Let's talk about the Heritage Christian Services mission statement. Our mission statement was created by an employee and some of the people he supported in the agency's founding years. Our mission statement is more than just words and has helped shape our workplace values and the behaviors that reflect those values. Please reference the attached mission statement document and read along as my friend and coworker Tina reads the mission statement for us.
I'm Bettina Crandall, and I live at Evergreen Apartments, and I'm going to read the mission statement. To provide a living and working environment that reflects the love of Christ in action. Support and respect for each individual gifts, strength, and needs, opportunity to mature, to learn, and to grow. A life of dignity, worth, and respect to which all are entitled as God created children. This is their rightful heritage.
After listening to Tina read to us, what did you notice about the mission statement? Did you notice it does not specify the words pertain only to people who have a disability? The words that make up our mission statement apply not only to the people who choose our services, but also to their families, our employees, and members of our community. The application of these words in your everyday work are truly boundless. Every employee has a role in living out the Heritage Christian mission statement in their everyday work. Whether you are interacting with coworkers, family members, or a person who chooses our services. These words should guide your actions and the way you choose to represent yourself, your team, the organization, and those who you are supporting in any given situation. I wanted to share with you an example of how these words have directly impacted me and my career at Heritage Christian. The phrase, opportunity to mature, to learn, and grow has directly impacted my everyday work. When you're working with people, no one day is the same, which allows for new experiences and learning opportunities on a daily basis. In my experience, my coworkers, my supervisors, and the people I have supported here at Heritage have shaped who I am today as an employee, but also as a person. I have come to learn that Heritage Christian Services is a place where entrepreneurship, growth, and advancement are encouraged. As a matter of fact, entrepreneurship is actually one of our workplace values. Now I'd like to take a few minutes and reflect on the words of the Heritage Christian Services mission statement. How will these words impact the way you view your daily responsibilities at work? If you think about it, how will the mission statement change your attitude towards your coworkers, your supervisor, and those who you will be supporting? We have been providing high-quality services and supports at Heritage Christian since 1984. Currently, there are over 2,900 employees carrying out our mission and values every day. Our mission statement, along with our workplace values, help contribute to the overall experience people perceive when they work, receive support, and interact within our organization. At Heritage Christian Services, we value Christian compassion, courage, entrepreneurship, excellence, honesty, and humor. Think about a time when you had an excellent experience as a customer. Were you motivated to seek out that service you received again? Think about the customer service experience provided by the Disney brand. Have you or someone you know ever been to Disney World or watched a Disney movie? Did you love your experience? Why did you feel that way? Many people love the Disney brand because it is consistent in the experience it delivers to the customer. When you go to a Disney park, you know what to expect, and therefore you can relax and enjoy the experience. Statistics show that about 70% of Disney customers will return after visiting a park once. Disney's outstanding customer service is consistent, so customers are confident they will have the same experience the next time they visit a park. As customers, excellence counts more if it is consistent. The people we support, as well as the people who care about them, have high expectations of our employees. They are looking at us to deliver consistent, high-quality services. In many ways, what we do could be considered customer service. Consistency is just as important with employee satisfaction. You can imagine that employees are more satisfied in companies who provide outstanding customer service. Because the work we do is so important, we need to be intentional about it and ask employees to be accountable for demonstrating the Heritage Christian difference. We are going to spend some time reviewing the Heritage Christian difference, which is made up of behaviors that reflect the Heritage Christian Services workplace values. These are behaviors we expect employees to exhibit each and every workday. When employees consistently demonstrate these behaviors, the people who choose our services and their families, community members, and the workforce have a great customer experience. Please reference the attached document titled Heritage Christian Difference Self-Assessment. Once you have this document, you'll see on the left there is a list of our Heritage Christian values, and underneath each value it outlines specific behaviors that we feel reflect that value. When you look at the list, you may think, this is common sense. Do we really need to write this down? It may be common sense, but it's not always common practice. These are the behaviors that were determined to be most important for every one of us to do every day. Let's take a few minutes to review the behaviors together. As we review the list of behaviors, think about if it's natural for you to do these in your everyday work. You'll find some of these behaviors will be more natural for you, yet others you'll need to work a little harder to do consistently. The first workplace value is Christian compassion. The behaviors that are associated with this value are smiling and making eye contact, speaking at eye level, using people's names and person-first language, helping others even if it is outside your role, saying thank you with sincere gratitude, and acknowledging and participating in important events in people's lives. So let's break these down. Smiling and making eye contact. It's important to smile and have a great attitude. Whether it's sharing a smile with a coworker when you're walking past them in the hall, or as you greet them when you come into your shift. A smile can make a big difference. Speaking at eye level. We support people of all abilities, and many people who we support may use a wheelchair. It's important to demonstrate respect by speaking at eye level. Using people's names and person-first language. Person-first language means being intentional and respectful in the language we use when we describe others. Ways to ensure you're using person-first language include being positive in the language you use and avoid using labels or stereotypes. For example, think about the word community. We may be tempted to talk about bringing people we support out into the community, which implies separation and otherness from the community they are a part of. When you go to the mall or to the movies, do you ask a friend, do you want to go out in the community with me? Probably not. Instead, you may ask or say, would you like to go to the mall or movies? Helping others, even if it's outside our role, there's a Bible verse that says, 2 are better than 1 because they have a good return for their labor. When we work together, we truly can accomplish a lot more than we could individually. Saying thank you with sincere gratitude. We have collaborated with a company called Reward Gateway to create a platform called the Brand Integrity Platform where employees can give recognition to their coworkers in real time. The platform allows employees to write high fives, recognizing and thanking their coworkers on a daily basis. Later on, we'll watch a video and hear from some of our coworkers about how they use the Brand Integrity Platform, acknowledging and participating in important events in people's lives. We strive to create a sense of community at Heritage Christian Services. It's important to support your coworkers and the people who choose our services in good times and in bad times. Something we do in our team to celebrate each other is making sure we acknowledge each other's birthdays and anniversaries working with the agency. Our next workplace value is courage. The behaviors that support courage include having crucial conversations, advocating for what you know is right, asking for help, and maintaining composure. So let's break these down together too, and I'll give you some examples of the behaviors that support having courage. So having crucial conversations. Although it's not always easy, it is important to share concerns and have necessary conversations when someone is not meeting expectations. If you notice a coworker is often distracted on their phone during work, it may be a good idea to pull them aside and make sure everything's okay. Find out if there's anything going on with them outside of work. Sometimes the way you approach a conversation can change its trajectory for the good or for the bad. Being positive and expressing genuine care about the person you are speaking with can make a big difference. If the person who is distracted by their phone really has something going on outside of work, they will feel supported and may choose to share what's going on with you. If they are simply choosing to focus on their phone instead of the people they are supporting, they will probably realize they're doing something wrong and change their behavior. Advocating for what you know is right. Don't be afraid to speak up if something isn't right. Let me tell you about a story from when I worked as a service coordinator. I was supporting a man named Fred who had difficulty holding a conversation. He would often respond to my questions with answers that didn't really make sense. So I did a little investigating and I found out that this wasn't always the case for Fred. In the past, he was able to communicate traditionally. So I encouraged and advocated for Fred to have a hearing evaluation done. Once he had the hearing evaluation done, we found out that he had profound hearing loss and was able to get hearing aids. Once he had the hearing aids, he was a completely different person and talked up a storm. It would have been easy for me as a new service coordinator to be afraid to share my observation and suggestions. But my small act of courage and advocacy changed Fred's life for a long time. He was able to have conversations like he used to and interact with the people around him in his everyday life. Asking for help. This is huge and sometimes can take a lot of courage. No matter how much experience you have working in this field, working in general, it's always important to recognize your limitations and ask for help when you need it. Maintaining composure. We support people on both good days and bad days. It is most important and equally as difficult when someone is struggling. Once I supported a person who was struggling to keep her home clean. She would get really upset whenever I talked to her about taking care of her home. It would have been easy for me to also get frustrated and upset, but instead I stayed calm and I asked her if she was interested in taking care of her home. If she wasn't interested at that time, I would ask her when she preferred to clean. Then, when she chose, we would turn on some of her favorite music and jam out as we cleaned her home. If I had got upset and tried to force her to clean when I thought it was appropriate, it probably would not have gone as well. Another one of our workplace values is honesty, and some of the behaviors that demonstrate honesty are telling the truth, admitting mistakes and apologizing when needed, and documenting accurately. Telling the truth is pretty straightforward. Admitting mistakes and apologizing when needed isn't as easy. Everyone makes mistakes, and it's important to own up to them and to learn from these experiences. Documenting accurately is so important at Heritage Christian Services because a lot of the work that we do is funded through Medicaid. And we receive this funding by providing documentation for the services rendered. So it's very important that we document accurately and in a timely fashion so we are able to receive appropriate reimbursement for the services we provide. We have a saying, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. Humor. Humor is another one of our workplace values, one of my favorite, and the behaviors that demonstrate humor are simple. Making time to share a laugh. Share a laugh with the people who you're supporting, share a laugh with your coworkers, sharing a laugh with family members, anyone. It's always important to take time to share a laugh. We support people, a lot of people in their homes, and it's important that their environment is lighthearted and comfortable. You wouldn't want your home environment to be tense and uncomfortable. Sometimes sharing a laugh can brighten a situation, a difficult situation, or even bring some ease to a tense environment. Our next workplace value is excellence. And the behaviors that demonstrate excellence include being prepared for work and meetings, returning phone calls and emails in a timely manner, doing what you say you're going to do or communicating the change, and being a good steward, saving time and money. Being prepared for work, being on time and prepared for work and meetings seems like common sense, but it's not always common practice. People are counting on you to show up and be ready for work. Think about if you were working a 4 p.m. to midnight shift. It's getting to be midnight and you're exhausted, you really want to go home. You would really want the person relieving you to show up on time. So pay it forward and do your best to be on time. Returning calls and emails in a timely manner is still pretty straightforward. Do your best to get back to people and show them respect, and let them know if you're out of the office or if you're going to be unable to get back to them within a timely fashion. Doing what you say you're going to do or communicating the change. When you're working with people, things change. Communication is really important to make sure we're all on the same page and working towards the same goals. Being a good steward, saving time and money is so important in your everyday work. Thinking about how the agency's resources on a larger scale impact the individuals you support on a daily basis. Lastly, but certainly not least, is entrepreneurship. The behaviors that support entrepreneurship include sharing ways to continuously improve, making agency connections outside of work, building relationships, and pursuing new ideas. Sharing ways to continuously improve. You have a unique set of talents, gifts, and abilities that no other person in the whole world has. Please share them with us. Your input is invaluable to our growth and development as an agency. Making connections outside of work. You never know how your connections may impact the people who you serve or the work we are doing at Heritage Christian Services. Maybe someone you support is really interested in creating music, and you have a friend who has a recording studio. Pursuing new ideas. If you don't succeed, try again. You will never know if your idea will work if you don't try it. We invite our employees to be innovative and to try to solve a problem with a second or third right answer. At Heritage Christian Services, we strive to have employees who are engaged in the work they are doing every day. So we have partnered with a company called Reward Gateway to measure employee engagement. Every 6 months, you can expect to participate in an assessment of the Heritage Christian difference and the behaviors that we just reviewed. Employees provide feedback on the things we are doing really well and areas we can improve, both at the agency and on a department level. As you learn your role and your responsibilities, please be observant, ask questions so you can learn how to exemplify the Heritage Christian difference. Say thank you with sincere gratitude. Have courage to point out when people are falling short. Everyone plays a part in contributing to the Heritage Christian difference. As I mentioned earlier, we have a recognition platform that we encourage you to use. On this platform, you can send high fives and recognize coworkers and supervisors for living out our values. Let's listen to some of our coworkers as they share what this platform is all about.
My name is Marisa Geithner. My title is President and CEO. Recognition definitely helps employees feel more connected to the mission. The work we do is about relationship. It's about how we act in service to one another.
We've had a formal recognition program for over 20 years, and we instituted a program called High Fives many years ago. We decided to use the brand integrity platform and put our High Fives online, so now it's much more visible for all of our employees.
If you really use it to the capacity that it's really intended for, it really encourages people to do great, to achieve excellence.
The impact that I see that it has giving someone a high five is that I think it makes them feel good, and I think it can help them repeat what they've done. It might help other people to see what this other person got a high five for, so then they want to do something similar so they can get one. Also, I really like the fact that I could recognize anyone in the whole agency and they would get it quickly. Before, when we were writing paper, it would take sometimes up to a month if you wrote a high five for someone in a different department.
I think when people read the high fives, it kind of gives like a little buzz, like, wow, I should do this. It makes a difference when I come on my shift at the right time, when I'm actually scheduled. It makes a difference when I'm supporting the individual out in the community, because look at the impact it has on the community and look at the impact it has on the individuals. And to be able to think that you can make that impact, that's what this job is about.
I think that the High Five platform is very important because it helps us just keep our morale high. Even the communication and knowing that somebody appreciates what you do on a day-to-day basis is really important.
When somebody receives a recognition post, I feel like they get very excited, their face lights up, they have a better shift, they work harder.
It definitely motivates myself, and I'm sure it motivates other people. When you do your job on the day-to-day basis and you don't get feedback, whether it be negative or positive, sometimes you kind of get stuck in a rut. And I think it's nice to kind of just give that thank you, give that great job, because you could build on that. Like, okay, I got that down and somebody recognized me, so now I'm going to take it above and beyond the next time.
Well, I think all leaders should start writing high fives because, I mean, it boosts your staff's morale. I think that giving people high fives can make them feel valued, so they want to stay. They know they're appreciated.
Recognizing your team is very important in keeping people there and making them feel appreciated. If you're not appreciated, you won't stay.
Having a positive environment and a culture where employees feel appreciated really has a positive influence on the supports that they're providing. So if they are working directly with someone who has a disability in their home, it's such a positive benefit to the people because we're going into their home. So there's a direct correlation between having a positive work environment, people feeling appreciated, and the end result, the services that are provided.
We are working diligently to really try to learn how to not only always find time to recognize one another, but also to make sure that that recognition is specific, because that makes it more meaningful to the person. And when that recognition is shared, it really creates a great learning opportunity for other people. They can see how the value was lived out in behavior, and it kind of creates a roadmap for others to follow along in that and also receive recognition for the unique ways in which they serve. But it's really important in the work we do to stay encouraged and move forward in support of others.
Wow, we have covered a lot of information in our short time together today. More than anything, we hope that you are encouraged and empowered to live out the Heritage Christian difference in your everyday work. Please take a look at the attached organizational chart. Notice, the team of people closest to the people who choose our services are our direct support staff. If you will be serving as a direct support staff, your work is irreplaceable, invaluable, and significant to the people who choose our services. Direct support staff have the most influence on the people who choose our services on a daily basis. Thank you for choosing to share your unique gifts, talents, and abilities with us at Heritage Christian Services.